So, Ronin, you guys want any topics at hand? Anything you want to talk about, or any respond to maybe the comments I was making to the scriptures there that Jill brought up? Any comments, retorts?
Oh, you wanted context about what I quoted from the Bible in Luke? Well, if you read through the scripture, right, Jesus is giving rewards to people, right? Different because they did different things. They give him this, that. He would give him this, that, whatever, right? And then it gets down to 27, and then Jesus is speaking. But those mine enemies who could that I would not reign over, bring hither and slay them before me. That was Jesus talking, right? So, and a lot of people, apologists, they say, well, no, that doesn't mean that. No, that's what he said. That doesn't mean that. It's a parable. No, it's not. No, it's not a parable. It's a direct statement. And people want to confuse those things on purpose so they can deny any facts accordingly.
Sir, I agree with Ronin, sir.
Text out of context can lead to pretext.
Becomes a pretext for whatever you want the Bible to say. So whatever Ronin wants the Bible to say, he'll rip a text out of its immediate context and make it say what he wants it to say, to push a narrative, an anti-Christian narrative, a hate narrative. He hates the Bible, he hates God, he hates Christians. Now, this is verse 11. Now, you notice that he cited verse 27, right? That was the verse that he cited. Those enemies of mine who do not want me to be king over them, bring them here and kill them in front of me. Let's go back a bit to verse 11 where the parable begins. Even the translator recognized that this was a parable, which is why the subtitle here is the parable of the 10 minas. Verse 11, while they were listening to this, he went on to tell them a what, Ronin? What is that?
Parable.
A parable. So where do you get the notion that this is not a parable? If it says it right here in the text that Jesus went on to tell them a parable.
Well, in context, right? It's a chapter, and if you start at the beginning, right? He went there, and then he did the parable. He didn't start with the parable. It was after the fact. Right? If you're reading the whole chapter, you start with the first line. And he said he was traveling and he entered there.
Right.
And then he offered the parable.
And then he told the parable, right? Which part of the parable, when he began to tell the story or the parable, is verse 27 that you ripped out of context, claiming that this is not a parable. Christians claim it's a parable. No, the Bible claims it's a parable. You lied once again on the Bible. You should be ashamed of yourself. Now, is it that you hate the Bible or you just don't know how to read context? Which one?
No, it's exactly a parable, which is a noun. And the definition is, I'm looking at it, a simple story used to illustrate a moral in terms of behavior or spiritual lesson, which means what you are thinking, as told by Jesus in the Gospels. It's it's just a simplified story, and that's.
But I thought it wasn't a parable.
It's a simplified story, which is a direct statement.
So, is it a parable?
What a parable is.
Is it a parable or not? You claimed it wasn't. Now you're defining parable as if it is a parable.
Again, the parable came after the fact, and the parable in and of itself is a simple story used to illustrate.
Is it a parable or not?
After the fact, yes.
What's the passage that you ripped?
After the fact, yes. However, again.
Okay, so it is a parable. Okay,
you're interrupting me.
Okay.
Hey, Brojo, this is what I was calling you out on.
Hey, bro.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
Hey, Brojo.
I didn't do anything, Ronin. But I have a question, Ronin. That verse 27 question, is it part of the parable or not?
Well, yeah, but it's again a simple story. He's
so,
simplified.
but wait a minute.
Look, do you know what a narrative is? The
But wait a minute.
narrative starts Luke.
You're interrupting me.
Excuse me. The
You're interrupting me.
excuse
You're
me. The
interrupting me.
narrative starts.
You interrupted me.
No, it's the narrative. It's a narrative. It's explaining what Jesus was doing. Okay, that's the narrative. That's the beginning of 19. Then it goes on to say there's a parable, and again, there's it's a simple story used to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson. Moral dictates behavior. Spiritual is a thought. Okay, so the behavior is explicit, right? Those mine enemies bring hither and slay them before me.
But happy White History Month to all you white people out there. Without you, there would be no America. Even though a major portion of you, half of you approximately, want to destroy this country and turn it into a socialist wasteland. Like China.
But the 1st of July is White History Month. White History Month. So the whole month is White History Month from now on. Happy White History Month. As of July 1, 2018, we will be celebrating the entire month of July, White History Month. And the reason I picked July, put it there, James. The reason I picked July is because white Christian males and female conservative, straight men and women of God are very patriotic, and July just fit with white people. 4th of July, vacations, a quiet moment to appreciate the freedom.
You reject Christ, then the moment you take your first step through the gates of hell, the only thing you will hear is all of creation standing to its feet and applauding and praising God because God has rid the earth of you.